Okay, today we have a treat for you. And I've been waiting for this moment actually for a long time. And because this estate that we are offering today, I have passed it a quadrillion times going up and down the D2. And you know, it wasn't until I would say maybe 2016 when I tasted the 2015 at a barrel, and I actually saw Chateau de Glana at a tasting where I'm like, whoa, there's something here. Now, let's kind of step back a little bit and talk about not only the estate, but where it's located, because I think that is the important factor in today's offer. So, do you remember 2 weeks ago when we offered the Chateau Gloria, which by the way, we sold out pretty much immediately, and good for you guys that bought it because the wine is spectacular for the money. It's a St. Julien, and most of the wines in St. Julien are quite expensive. It's the smallest appellation with the highest concentration of classified growths of any appellation in the Medoc. You're talking 5 super second growths, 2 third growths, and 4 fourth growths. And out of all those classified estates, there are only 3 that are not classified. One of them being 2 weeks ago, Chateau Gloria, which was developed by Henri Martin after the 1855 classification, so it cannot be classified. The other is called La Bridane, another small estate. And the final third estate that's not classified is Chateau de Glana. And Tris, why is it not classified? Well, like Gloria, this estate kind of came to fruition after the 1855 classification. So let's talk a little bit about this estate. So it kind of was developed in the late 1800s, of course after 1855, but very late, like in the 1870s. And it was a very rundown house that had like 5 hectares of land, and you know, it was what it was, you know, when it was kind of developed. And so over the years, it was bought by the Meff family, and it continued through the generations. And like Gloria, they kept chipping away at estates around them. And again, when you're talking about all this time in the 1900s, when you know things weren't always so great in France. You know, I don't know if you saw Napoleon, but you know, which good movie, by the way. You know, but it wasn't that great. So it was easy for these families, if they had a little bit of coin, to kind of chip away at some of the classified growths around them, and that's exactly what Chateau de Glana did. And so today they have 60 hectares of land, which is about 150 acres. That's a lot. That's a lot for St. Julien, because St. Julien is so small, because it only has like 940 hectares total. But the thing that really kind of got me with this wine is the fact that whenever I drove up the D2 and would pass, come in through Bécheville, you pass Bron-Air de Cru, then you have de Cru Beaucaillou, and then across the street from Beaucaillou, de Cru Beaucaillou, is Chateau de Glana. I'm like, okay, come on. They gotta be making decent wine. They're surrounded by a bunch of classified growths. And they are. They are. In 2015, they finished the full renovation of the cellar. And they brought in Denis Dubardeau, who was a famous enologist, and you know, may he rest in peace, because he did pass away recently, but essentially one of his assistants is now continuing with the enology of the wine. And like I said, in 15, I started to take note of this wine. But this wine, really, you don't see it very often. In fact, we're one of 2 retailers in the country that is selling this wine right now. And in fact, we have it for about $8 cheaper than they do. But I was wondering, like, how could something in such a great appellation be priced so fairly? And that's exactly what this wine is. So this is the 2019 vintage, which, by the way, and I said it before, the 19 vintage is not shutting down. These wines are super voluptuous, big, bright. Drink them today. And that's the situation with Chateau de Glana. So here we have a blend of 72% Cabernet Sauvignon and 28% Merlot. The soils in St. Julien is, like the name Beaucaillou says, beautiful pebbles. And what makes Cabernet grow so well in St. Julien is the fact that it has great grainage. And remember we talked about clay having wet feet? Well, that's great for Merlot. Not so great for Cabernet. But on the other hand, rocks, gravels, that's great for the Cabernets, whether it's Cabernet Sauvignon or Cabernet Franc, and hence 72% Cabernet in this wine. So here we have 2019 vintage, St. Julien, multiple 90+ scores, $24.98 for St. Julien. I mean, you can't touch that. I mean, literally half the price of something classified. That's the cheapest classification, of course, you know? And for me, this is, how do I want to say? It's a serious wine. The tannins are so resolved in this wine. The fruit is just, the mid palate just explodes. And it's like a no guilt St. Julien. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the Cru is now $250, and, you know, Becherville is $100, and Barral La Rosa is $100, and this is $25. I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. And for that kind of money, buy 6. We have them in 6-packs, wood 6-packs even. Great wine, great property. A lot of things to look forward to. I think we got some pictures to show you where it's at in relation to Du Cru Beaucaillou, because I know Kyle and I stopped there last year in the rain to take the pictures. So yeah, you know what to do. This is easy.